Come on, Twixie Boo. Come on, Twixie Boo. Alrighty.
That's a little more visible. There we go. So first things first. Welcome everybody to session 7 of season 2 of Forgotten Genesis. Working title for this one, aptly named For the Lair of the Abyss that Zavorcizor found themselves just entering Mansion of the Rake. It is, however, not their demonic voyage that we're going to focus on in this starting moment, but a secondary little journey between a couple, well, founding members of Zavorcizor and their associated NPCs, including Angel Mochizuki Whitehorn. Before kicking that off directly, though, anybody who'd like to earn an inspiration die, of course, for recapping last session's events, may absolutely do so.
We entered the vampire house, and I got stabbed through the hand by a doorknob.
Mm-hmm.
That was the last part. We're talking about the first part. The first part was, if you want me to give you a full playback, you're gonna have to wait till my headache goes away, but because I can give you a blow by blow, but that would be weird. So
blow by blow may not be necessary. The majority of the session was a combat encounter.
We got the trees to halfway kill the monsters we were fighting. That was great. Everybody got a chance to kill something. It was great. So it was pretty awesome. A pretty awesome evening.
Welcome in, Venestra.
And we all worked together to make a decision if we were going to go to one side of the abyss or the other side of the abyss. And Piper was not present, so it was literally me puppeting Piper.
Yeah, and it was a big question of also what kind of danger did you guys want to put yourself in choosing between at least the immediately maybe 2% safe layers of the abyss that you could go to try and find a place to accomplish some kind of rest. After debating on it, going back and forth a little bit, you all, for the most part, agreed that going to a lair filled with vampires, and at least hopefully not ravenous and feral ones, that you might be able to either A, hide for long enough to rest, or B, convince tentatively something to leave you alone for a short time. Let me go ahead and open up Venestra's chat channel as well, in case Venestra is inclined to say anything. There we go.
Hanging the wreath that decides not to hang because we're trying to hang it on brick.
Oh no, hanging was the place you guys fought in.
Huh?
Hanging was the place you guys fought in, and it was dealt a lot with razor chains. It's quite a thing when a lair of the abyss is named for an action rather than a title. The place was named March of the Pierced Men. Ramsey also did not die. He came very close. He came very close.
So did at the last episode, Halcyon did too.
The episode prior, yeah, Halcyon rolled particularly poorly. In the fight, not so much.
So that was a pretty good recap, but that was pretty much what happened. We had a full conversation about where to go in the abyss, and we made it as a group, so it was great.
Yeah.
Which hasn't happened in a very long time, so I'm very happy and proud of us.
My last note says we were greeted by a voice, said, "Welcome to the Mansion of the Wraith."
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. We will pick up with that and you guys here in a moment. As again, pulling out of the infinite, terrible, horrid layers of the abyss, we suddenly find ourselves yet again in a more whimsical environment. Whimsical, crazy, maddening, joyous, twisted, conniving, any number of ever so colorful and chaotic emotions. Back in the Feywild, we find Angel, we find Nicodemus. Now, if I recall, did you have a companion and another player with you? Whether they were playing an alternate character or anything of the like, or was this largely just...
We didn't have another player with us. But we
Okay.
were about to leave. And it was up to the other Fae if she wanted to come with us, because she was.
Discord did it again, son of a bitch. Discord. Discord did it again. I'm not too keen on that bullshit.
I'm just glad it didn't blue screen you.
You know, yeah. If there's one thing that annoys me more than anything during a D&D stream, and especially when editing the VODs, it's having to label part 1 and part 2 because everything broke that badly.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I should make peace with it because sometimes it just happens, but it doesn't change the fact that it's annoying.
Yeah.
I'm going to send something to the DM. You can't look at the full screen, can you?
Huh?
Can you read the messages from the other thing, or do I need to message you via phone?
I have a few monitors.
Okay.
Again, if there's something prudent, I can't hear notifications from Discord if you're gonna
No,
message me in the
I'm just letting
background.
you know.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm just letting you know what I know.
Mhm.
So, ready when you are, DM. I don't know if that character, Alana,
Ilana.
is going to make an assistance to, since she couldn't go on one dangerous mission, decide that she's going on another dangerous mission, which is a possibility.
I'm gonna roll to see what Ilana's state of mind is and see if maybe she's just petulantly pouting over not being able to, well, accompany. Zen.
So does that mean she's going to petulantly pout and make herself a problem for us?
I guess we'll see. As awkward as this is, as awkward as this is, I'll ask everybody to give me a high or low just to see whether this roll is an advantage or disadvantage for her.
Hi.
Whether she grew 2 brain cells or burned them.
I was.
Okay, high for Neseo.
I don't know. Hold on my dice. Yeah! I know these y'all are all balls, but this is not a time to roll off. Okay, what did you roll to?
Handle your balls more
Not-
carefully.
I'm sorry. They're all floppy. Not in a literal sense.
It's D&D. If we can't engage in a little bit of immaturity, then the fact that this is a game is
I
moot.
got a high roll. High.
High. Okay, so we got 2 calls for high. High or low?
Wait, I'm high or low? I'll do high.
It's third for high. Vanessa did high. So I've got her chat open on this side.
Okay. So high, 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 and high. All right. 63. The DM as well, so she's got advantage. Okay. She doesn't petulantly pout.
Okay. But there seems to be a butt coming.
It's a 10.
Which means she's gonna insist.
She promptly diverts to the kitchen and starts making anger pastries. Not direct pouting, more just culinary
Deflection.
You know that when you make pastries with whatever feeling you had, usually it ends up, you know, like emoting into the next person because you're just passing on that emotion. That's what Angel says as she's sitting there having her morning coffee. Getting ready to go.
Coffee sounds like a great idea. It'll help enhance the fucking chocolate.
There's no fucking involved.
Shame. She dumps 2 cups of coffee into the batter and starts beating aggressively.
I don't think.
Oh, okay. I was so confused because I thought we were in the vampire, but I just
No,
remembered.
no, no,
yeah,
no.
yeah. It's
Because
your other character,
We're
other
making-
place. Yeah,
We're making a brief detour to the Dark Fae thing that's going on
yeah.
first.
I got it. It just took me a hot minute to figure out
Yeah.
why.
Which means if you guys need to settle in, kind of open up your character sheets, do things like that to get yourselves going, this is the time for you guys at
Already
least to go
open.
ahead and take the time to do that.
It's already open. I already got my cheesecake. I got everything. I'm ready. Pastries.
Pastries are fake. I'm letting you know that flavor profile's.
They haven't failed if they haven't been made yet.
I do like
Just, you know, it's funny. You can't really tell if something's gonna fail if you don't give it a fucking chance.
If they can make a chance to do it, if they had a dagger to possibly add to that situation, that might actually do something.
Yeah, I don't do daggers.
You don't do spells, you don't do daggers, you do muffins, but you're failing at that muffin thing. It makes me think that you
Who the
have
fuck said this was a muffin?
It doesn't matter if it's bread or muffin, you're failing right now.
The batter's too fucking thin. She continues to go into this just chaotic spiral of a self-rant, self-correction. The batter gets thicker than thinner than thinner than thicker, and it gets to be more and more as it just progressively gets more filled, and then she finally starts filling baking pans and just barely, not literally throwing them into the ovens
Like, I have
and
a
starting to bake them
question.
off. Yeah.
Can I awaken the bread?
Before or after
mean
it's
you-
cooked?
You mean like
Because if you want to
activating
awaken the
yeast,
batter,
or...
then it's going to die.
I'm gonna wait until it pops out of the oven and then cast awaken on it.
So we're talking about a different awakening than just like thawing and waking up the yeast.
No, no,
In that
no.
bread.
I'm literally
She
bringing
wants
the
to
bread.
cast awaken objects.
What does that do?
It's gonna bring it to life.
Or, sorry, animate object in this case.
Oh, that's more clear.
partial for the sake of some people who watch some, I don't know, less than stellar current seasons of cartoons, think the suddenly sentient churro from one of the newer episodes of Rick and Morty.
I want to see those new episodes, but they're not on HBO
No.
Max yet.
Let's make this simpler. It's basically Gingy, but made out of bread.
Who?
The gingerbread
Shrek.
man.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All right. Now, because it's anger pastries, I'm going to roll a D100 to see whether she has advantage or disadvantage on the cooking process. Because anger pastries can sometimes be concerningly good. It's weird. Middle of the road. Okay, so it's just based on where the roll goes. Okay.
She's failed it. She fails.
With a natural 6, it is not very long before the kitchen just starts to get filled with the aroma of burning chocolate and coffee, and slowly becomes clouded with smoke.
Water. There's this takes the decanter of water and knows that it's gonna burn.
Yeah. Water damage to Piper's home kitchen that she can deal with after she's out of the abyss. But yeah.
I just cast mending on everything, like really slowly fixing this real quick.
And as the oven opens, what is revealed from one of these pans of brownies, it's just loosely tossed to the side. It is burnt and scorched around the edges, and then somehow completely fucking raw and still liquidous in the middle.
Nestor, I DM'd you.
So,
Yes. What do you need?
you failed the pastry.
I fucked up one dish.
Bit like the rest of your life, probably.
Yeah, you don't know me, sweetheart.
No, but I know quite a few people like you.
No, you don't.
Living in a tavern says otherwise.
Yeah, I'm not living in it. I'm just living wherever Xanon goes.
Sounds like you weren't listening, but okay.
Well, not even Xanon knows everything about me.
Considering I know that you're
And
hiding
she
half of yourself,
throws
that's-
another completely bastardized brownie pan over her shoulder. As it just clang, 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 sloshes and smacks against the kitchen wall. She walks toward a room without intent nor desire for which room it is, and slams a door. You hear a clattering of sticks and tools as she promptly shut herself in a fucking broom closet.
She'll be out in like 2 minutes. Give her a second. There's probably a mop bucket in the head of
So while the would-be shrink companion of a, well, combative ally of yours is busy sorting out her bullshit inside of a goddamn broom closet, what angel would you like to do given the task that is currently before you?
Well, we already planning on leaving the next couple of days, so I'm saying that probably the next couple of days, considering time is distorted in this time period.
Yeah, with the distortion between the Feywild and the Abyss, things do get a little bit weird.
So she's been pouting for 3 days, so this like probably has been the first day, and just Angel's sitting and waiting for her to ask to come with them, considering she's probably gonna want to do something.
Yeah, she goes through, over those few days, a series of very, very emotionally reflective culinary attempts. It's probably pretty easy to tell on day one, but it seems like he's not a cook by practice, not a cook by occupation, and seemingly just wants to vent that frustration by trying and then promptly failing to make something.
I have a question. When the kids actually make something better than she does, how does that happen? How does that reaction? I really want to know what that reaction is because Angel's kids know how to cook.
You see, this. I mean, the most frustrated you've really ever seen this elven woman, ever. Having still known her for only a few days, she had mostly an outwardly calm, if excitable, demeanor. This being sort of a polar opposite emotional state. When she sees herself get outclassed by children, even though it is a skill that is very clearly and outwardly not her strong suit. She seems to, in a very animated fashion, throw her hands up, even in the middle of dealing with ingredients, dealing with tools, and relocate herself to another room. Often, sometimes a room closet, sometimes an empty room, sometimes a guest room, sometimes a bedroom, sometimes a bathroom inadvertently. And by the second day, not even the third, many of Piper's children, as they're present here, get fed up with her brand of bullshit, and they loaded pranks ensue. So,
I'm gonna let you know if you don't start actually. There's a point where I use it really sad. I'm just gonna let you know if you start actually emoting. They're gonna start putting fish in your underwear. Because that's how they work. And your shampoo will turn your hair green, and your eyebrows will turn purple for no reason. That's just how they do.
make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Just okay. 35?
With disadvantage.
She's got absurdly good modifiers. Bards, man, they're fucking nuts.
Christ, I don't have anything like that.
I don't get many things, but persuasion's one of the ones I get.
Persuasion is your nuke skill at this point.
I mean, if I don't...
Persuasion is supposed to be my nuke skill too.
I mean, you're making a point.
She seems to be very much in the middle of trying to mix a cake in a cast iron mixing bowl. You try through persuasive words to emote. I'm going to roll to see her response to that persuasion. It is successful. I'm just going to see which direction these exceedingly outwardly volatile emotions turn. Angel only, since you're the one that called for the persuasion, high or low?
Let's take it low, because that's what I got.
As she's rocking the mixing bowl, well, the pot that she's using to try and mix this batter, she sets it down, and you hear a ping. You see a fracture line up the length of that cookware. I need to blow off some steam. Wherever the hell you two are going, I'm going with you. I need something to yell at.
Yelling is not going to be the answer. So, question is, what skills do you have? like actual skills, because you can't cook for shit. I can teach you to cook, but you're gonna have to listen. You're not in a listening state of mind. I don't mind if we blow off steam.
Yeah.
But like
For someone
Nicodemus
who
and me-
gets paid to listen, her not being in a listening state of mind is hellishly ironic.
Aren't you supposed to be like a calm and cool and collected person?
Around most people, yes. People in my profession are often stereotyped to be ironically more mentally unstable than the people they help.
Well,
You tell.
I don't know how mentally stable I can make you, but I can definitely help you work on it.
Oh, I'm not asking you to help. I'm asking you to find me something to vent at.
Okay, pick a weapon. Your voice is not going to be your weapon, in case you know how to use it. So, pick a weapon. I haven't seen you pick up a single instrument, so pick a weapon.
She takes a deep breath, closes her eyes, and steps away from the bowl. Takes a seat and sits down. The fractured iron bowl that she was mixing in with that fracture line just slides apart.
Knowing dragon nature, would I know that you can do that with your voice?
What?
Knowing dragon nature, would I know that you can do that with your voice?
Break items. You know that there are spells, not even, like, regardless of draconic nature, like synaptic static, and certain spells that are made for literally breaking physical objects. At this point, you are at a level where you, even just with your Arcana modifier, have some passive understanding of something strange going on. That didn't seem magical when that happened. It seemed physical, which runs in
Monk, barbarian.
really strikingly confusing contrast to the slightness of her physique.
I'm the angel walks across the room and throws a muffin straight at her head.
As it just smashes against her face.
Nope, not a monk. Not a monk.
She looks at you, having not flinched it. What was that for?
Not a monk. I'm letting you know this angel's saying this out loud. I'm letting you know
Hello,
you're
Amber.
not normal. If you want to come with us, you're going to have to literally follow Nicodemus's rules of you either stay in the bag, the necklace, or the backpack until time is asked.
At least someone's finally taking me with them. Hello, Amber.
Hi.
She had, apparently there's a nightmare look on her face of, I have just dealt with the worst diaper in all kingdomdom.
No, I'm just tired.
Either that, there's also that.
She stopped
So-
a toddlerist attack.
I swear. So, what have I missed?
We're currently going through angel stuff and getting this woman taken with us, apparently. I'm going to give you the rundown of the rules. You come out of the necklace without permission, I beat you senseless. After I lecture you. Second of all, considering that you have no concept of manners, no concept of things, I will beat you because basically you almost put us in danger. The Underdark is not a place for you to make noise, be a bitch, or try to get us killed by being loud.
Very well practiced at being very quiet. Most likely vocally, rather than physically, as you know, she seems to be at least somewhat clumsy.
You need to figure out a weapon. Something that you're going to be able to hit something with. What it is. You killed that pan. But I don't know what's inside of you or what's the thing that's going on with you right now that's confusing the fuck out of me. So, and I don't have time to think about it right now. So we will divest and digest that later.
Speaking of which, with See Beyond the Veil, you don't see any being attached to her.
Oh no, we saw a glow inside of her body. We don't know what it was. We just know there's a glow.
Something internal, something a little strange. Let's just get moving. I'll go inside of your necklace or wherever I need to go. I just need to go somewhere.
Well, luckily that's in calm emotion space, so you're gonna be real calm. And you're gonna see things from my point of view, so short advantage. To look over Nicodemus. I think she's like there's a mental thought process.
She's a nutcase. That's what you hear Nick say back to you.
I need you to take it as a hostile situation, like you did the one time when Griffin was sick and you had to take him.
Do we want to take a bomb with us to something that's supposed to be a wake-up call?
We don't really have a choice, but I also have Kismet and Lucy present, so I'm not really worried about her. Because Kismet just got back from her date situation, and it went well, so we're in a good mood today.
Okay.
So, and because she has particularly good skills, probably people that inside of that space, with calm emotions animals all over around, and the kids have been like, just take my stuffed animal for 2 minutes, and she just won't take it.
Okay.
I've just watched 60 kids walk around her with a stuffed animal, trying to get her to take the stuffed animal for 2 minutes, because it would make this much easier.
I think rather than try and overthink how to deal with calming her down before we leave, maybe she'll naturally do it on the road. I don't know.
Well, for some reason, that necklace always calms everyone down, so maybe there's some type of magic to it.
Maybe.
And
Either way,
for the sake of brevity, can we move it to where they're already on the road and have made it to the Underdark?
Sure, yeah, you are continuing to follow the pathway of basically that snake compass that you got. You are already in the Fey Underdark, which, at least visibly, for the most part, very, very similar to the normal Underdark that you're used to experiencing, with the exception of the fact that while the normal Underdark has this sort of ambient blue theme to it with the sort of light bleeding through the caves, there is no such window to the forge here, as while this is a reflection of the material plane, it doesn't seem to act in much the same way. The light sources that you do find seem to be, in every single case, one way or another, living. Whether the blue light is literally just some big fucking glowing centipede that proceeds to look at you and go like, sup, or it's
Angel's having a full conversation with these Fey beings. The entire time, Nicodemus is just watching her just get friendly with all the bugs.
Whether it's friendly, hostile, indifferent, or anything else, it is an estranged mixture of life that is producing any sort of visible light down here. That said, the deeper you go, the more skittish these life forms become. the less keen on interacting with much of anything they get to be, the more
Which
actively.
fey was I supposed to find? Specifically, remember? Because we didn't decide who I was going to see.
You didn't really receive a title of any kind. You simply got compass, which, let me see if I can find the exact note and title here for this crazy thing. Let's see. Just the NPC list.
Novel
Did I put
Python.
it? Did I put it in the? I might have put it in Discord for myself here. Actually, from Genesis notes.
Oh wait.
There it is.
I did DM you, by the way, Joe, but it's not urgent. You can look at it afterward, after the stream or during break or whatever.
I can give it a quick poke. Right. If you want to discuss that later, whether during the session or during the break where things are muted, feel free to do so.
Will do.
Never be afraid to voice concerns.
I just wanted to see what would happen if she got me. Oh, but because Angel's kids actually know how to cook. And Avery even knew how to cook. That was an impressive
Yeah,
moment
to
for
put
her.
it into perspective with Adam Sandler's with the Adam Sandler film Anger Management, she seems to be the cashier.
She's definitely the cashier. She's... Reminds me of Tension Duelists. So...
There it is.
Avery knows how to cook. Did we do that?
You did that.
Okay, I need to
You
go
were there.
ahead and add that proficiency.
Mm-hmm.
Or that
You
tool,
know
I mean.
how to cook. Yes, you know how to cook. Because there was one thing you're like, I'm just gonna make myself a muffin the way I want it made. No, I'm just kidding out there. I thought that was fun.
All right. Still following this compass, which it's odd and sort of snake-like pattern. You eventually divert into a tunnel that seems like it's less naturally formed and more carved, burrowed. It definitely evokes the essence of like a snake hole or a series of them. Venturing down, you can feel the sort of tangible drop in temperature. Venturing down more and more as the hours pass by, you even have to rest down here for a night or two. Nothing hostile, though, has made its way your direction. Temperature gets colder, you're able to see your breath. The texture to the walls of the cave begin to look scaled, not like dragon skin, but very much like snake skin. Patterned like a python and a cobra. Still lit and bioluminescent, though dimmed like it's been shed. Until finally you crest past a barrier, past a point where the light itself seems to invert, go from that light blue indicative of Zarian light to an almost under vibrant purple, like stepping into the field of a black light. There are roots that hang in these caverns that look almost like the dead husks of snakes, some of which that even look like the bones of them. Glowing and... no, not glowing, but just enhanced and lit by the ambient black light-like color around you. As you venture further into this space, the cave starts to get wider, more expansive. There seem to be offshoots and tunnels, entryways that are too small even for your gnomish physique to fit. Too small for Nick to try and squeeze you through or push you through. And yet there's still the larger channels. You begin stepping on what seems to be loose soil, looking down it, though it is actually shedded snakeskin. But with each and every step, there seems to be this effervescent spread from your feet, like there's still some errant leftover potential life in the skins that you walk across. On occasion, you find thorns, sharp bits that occasionally get stuck in your boots. Not thorns, shedded teeth, shedded fangs. Still, with all of these skins, all of these leftovers, you've seen no tide nor tell or tail. Any snake, any serpent of any kind.
Your turn.
For the Dark Fae to have previously gone missing, though, it may make some level of sense. Until finally, you start to hear noise. Like rushing water. The trickling, wet slide. As humidity grows, the cold air begins to itself start to dissipate. Warmth begins to return to the caverns. And then, keen as your ears are,
Ears here.
there's a hissing to the water. Hissing. Not water. Snakes. Tens, dozens, hundreds, thousands of snakes as the sound gets more intense, more fervent, more feverish. Looking up at some of the errant stalactites around you, in their formations, you swear it's like stepping under the open maw of giant, impossibly large serpent. As you continue to venture down this ever-growing, ever in its own somewhat disturbing way beautiful snake hole. The air and its humidity grows so thick that it feels almost hard to see. Hard to see. The darkness here is literally thick. The I don't know if Discord just cut me off. The darkness here is literally thick. Small gardener snake begins to trail its way slowly up your leg, coiling up its length and over your chest, looking at you in your eyes, though you see its eyes in a place as dark as this seem milked over. Its ears, bulbous, swollen, a more important part of an environment like this. Little wanderer, little morsel, as the cave and the rushing waters echo morsel. Shifting companion. His drink. What do you wish to find here? As the gardener snake slides away, and a cobra just as blind as the gardener snake rises and unfolds its crown to address you with that same question.
question: does Nicodemus shift into a mongoose?
He can't shift into animals at this stage. What do you do? How do you respond to the inquiries of these creatures? As right now, at least, your irritable elven companion is still very much just in the necklace.
I have a question. Why did the face sleep?
Ah, that's not what I was pressing.
They dissipate. They retreat from you. And crawling forth from the mounds of skins, a small, almost gnomish in size, little naga-like creature rises, snake body, human face to match. Ugly in its form. Why do the dog face sleep, she asks. The demons sung their wretched, discordant lullabies, or the light fae had enough whimsy to blot them out. Discordance? That's how the dark fae work. Distortion, dark sounds, and the beauty in the songs that can be found within. But therein lies the weakness. Therein lies that in the wrong darkness, dark fae may be overwhelmed and sleep as its body and face just melts, and more of these snakes give way, giving way to a snaking path before you.
Do you remember that song that I taught you?
Which one?
The one that has, it's in a culture, it's in a minor key. It still sounds on your voice.
You can give it a shot. But I think it's best if you try to sing it with me.
I can sing my part. We're just gonna fake the Nick sings his part if that's what you're gonna do.
I think that is a strong enough, intense enough warning that for a moment will depart from Angel and Nicodemus' scene and their entrance into some dark snake phase domain. To a group that have entered a domain of another kind of monster that bears its fangs.
Wait,
Yeah,
That was a seamless transition. Great job, Joe.
solid.
can we transition later again at 2 hours because I want to know what happens with the snack. I want to hear it snack its snacky head. Snack.
The welcoming tone in which you, stranded members of Zavorcizor, were welcomed here feels just off enough. Each of you feel goosebumps race across your body, not out of fear, but just some primal instinct. Like you stepped into a predator's den knowing full well what lies within, whether you're prepared to be here or not. Stretching out before you.
We found some place to sleep already. That was where we ended, Joe.
Yes. In this place that you've found, stretching out and around you, this beautiful, ostentatious, and garish Victorian and Gothic hall. Up and around you, the light sources, the chandeliers, the torches. A light with a soft firelight, though red in its color, highlighting the, in still some places, wet floor. Unmistakably wet with blood, let alone from the smell. But it's placed almost decoratively, painted onto the floor in places. While it seems to some, without keen eyes, that it would just be a crude mess, it seems just to be yet another macabre decoration for those that called this layer of the abyss home. As you all settle yourselves in to what amounts to be some abandoned meat closet, there are scattered leftover bones, probably some old feeding den in this place. The bones so coated with dust that it seems to be an almost utterly forgotten room. But the decorative blood itself still wet in here as much as it is in the rest of the place. There are cots in this room, beds, comfortable beds, even from their look, despite the layers of thick dust that cover them. Seems whatever the intent for the mortal cattle that were brought here, they were made to be comfortable before their lives ended.
Avery is going to play with the bones.
You pick up a bone that looks almost porcelain in its color, fair, light in its weight, yet firm and sturdy. And another bone that seems rough, chipped in places, thicker than your own forearm, yet it seems to be merely only a part of an actual one.
Can I polish the rough one down to be as smooth as the porcelain one?
If that's what you want to spend part of your...
He's not really tired right now.
That
You
said,
need to rest, considering that you have taken damage.
Yeah, you need
Only
to
like
heal.
30 points.
Still.
You don't sleep, you get an point of exhaustion.
here in this place,
Fine.
you all have the opportunity to rest. Whether you choose to make that a short rest, try and risk a long rest, you have options, and as well as an opportunity to potentially rotate lookouts and watches if you want to attempt a long rest to make sure that you are not, well, assaulted by interlopers, if going for the long version.
Does anyone want to take shifts on lookout?
I'ma first open up my room, ballroom, that is now a bedroom.
Why do you know
Because
that?
demi-plane, thank you.
Okay. The secondary ballroom is opened, at least clear and apparent option to be in this room, but not be a little bit safer.
Violet walks up to Avery. If you would like some place to sleep, we have extra cots in our tent.
I'll take that. I'll take you up on that offer. I'm gonna bring the bones with me, just as something to fiddle with.
I'm letting you know that Violet looks at them and is like, okay, whatever. Whatever. Oh, just get inside.
Okay.
Like she puts the demi plane actually on a tile on the wall, opens it up with her finger, walks inside. It's literally a tent that's supposed to be preventative. It's different from the abyss. It's actually got like a lot of runes, healing shit to keep us from dying in the
Nice.
abyss.
I guess I'm gonna go in the
Yeah,
ballroom.
so I do
and grab
go
a few
in them.
beddings.
Okay, do you take some of the bedding with you?
The bedding?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the bedding from my demiplane and go take it to Violet's demiplane, so everybody has a lot of bedding.
All right.
I'll let you take the first.
Because that results, Venestra, in tearing a hole into the astral sea and us getting thrown into it. We're good. You can't open a demiplane inside a demiplane. These rules. Let's not die.
And we don't want to get chucked into the ethereal plane.
It's the rules.
It is in this campaign because we did that. Blue and Piper's child got thrown into the astral sea.
There are
It
very
was
specific
an escape
demiplane
for-
structures where layered demiplanes can be a thing. However, those are very particularly and carefully enchanted quantum structures.
That's
The only one we know of is Griffins.
Well, there's also Violet's currently right now that is made for that reason.
Son of a bitch. Discord's gonna do this shit all day, isn't it?
He wasn't supposed to be with us because Piper didn't check him.
Discord, I'm gonna fucking kill it. I'm gonna kill it.
Were you literally about to say "son of a bitch"? 'Cause I
As
flew
you
left-
crashed, you
as
went,
you
saw.
crashed. Yeah, you went saw drop.
Yeah,
So, question.
was absolutely about to say son of a bitch.
Well, also, it's kind of like the Harry Potter tent. It's literally what their house is.
I love the Harry Potter tent. I wish I had one in reality because homelessness for me would no longer be an issue.
So Violet looks over at Halcyon. I will take the first watch. There is nothing's bigger than me when I'm pissed off.
Shh. Loud. Don't you dare wake up my child.
Might be a decent idea to pair up watches. Wrong accent.
I already
Calcium.
tried suggesting that. No one responded.
Might
Yeah,
be a decent idea to pair up the watches.
That's what I said.
I get that.
Oh, you're here. Sorry.
I'm going
Maybe
to.
if you want to
You're just
join
so
me
small.
for watch, you may join me for watch, but I am going to go first watch because I am Big Doggo, and I'm trying not to fill this space with my entire body.
Piper, what's up?
At the entrance, I'm going to use Heart of Moonlight and Shadow, which, during a long or short rest, you can touch a point in space and create an invisible 30-foot sphere that grants a +5 bonus to stealth and perception checks while within it, and light from open flames within it cannot be seen. So nobody will see the entrance.
They can't see the entrance if they wanted to. You'd have to know how to look for it.
I will say, as far as pairing up during these watches, it may give you guys, as characters, should you want to, well, mess around with the pairings, it may give you guys an opportunity to interact with
someone
each other.
Assigned Avery
Station.
and Piper to the same watch.
I
That
was
could
about
be
to
beneficial.
I was going to say, technically, I'm pretty sure Violet and Halcyon are going to pair up. Venestra is going to pair up with her little buddy. And then Xanon, right? Xanon?
Yeah.
Will pair up with his dragon, so it would literally leave Avery.
Oh, that's
left.
perfect then.
It would literally leave them left.
Well,
Pairing with
Violet
the
was
NPCs
also-
is all well and good. I'm saying this is an opportunity for you guys to pair up as PCs, should you choose to do so.
Violet was offering to let Avery, if he wanted to carve on the bone while she was sitting there.
I feel like the developing or healing the relationship between Piper and Avery's takes more initiative over the
Or you
bone
could just
tinkering.
Yeah, probably a good idea. Piper's gonna go now trance in a corner until her shift.
Okay, so we got Piper and Avery. We've got... Anybody got any wish lists for other pairings?
Well, I'm letting you know if that's the truth. Violet's going last because Violet did a lot of the legwork during that battle. She's going to bed.
Fair enough. Dog needs a dog nap.
Dog deserves a dog nap. I kept everybody safe for that entire thing. Guide dog did good job.
I was not here, so I wish I knew what happened. I know nothing, Jon
You
Snow.
erupted the earth on something and it killed it, and I was pleased.
Sweet.
That's what I did. Your character. I even made a pun out of it, which was very Piper.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
say V was gonna keep watch with Amira.
And as Vanessa points out, yes, Piper, your character did a lot of healing, and Avery rejected said healing.
So does Avery tell Violet to
Rejected
go
it.
lay down because she carried him the entire way?
Yeah.
Are you sure you want me to go lay down? She looks like she's about to fall over sitting in front of you.
Yes, lay down.
Okay.
Okay. So
I
it seems
trust
like...
you to get it small, shifty one.
Alright.
And pats his head. I'm
Xanon.
going to sleep now.
Okay, so it seems like, at least as far as immediate and prudent RP, Avery and Piper want to interact. Otherwise, everybody else may just get the normal perception checks for the sake of brevity in the watch. Unless there's anything else anybody wants to set up.
So whose group watches first?
You sit in the room while we sit in the house.
Is it me and Piper watching first?
Yeah.
Okay.
You and Piper
That's what I was asking.
Who watches the Watchers?
yeah,
Don't
and
worry about that. That's the level
Piper's
40
not-
encounter.
Piper is not trancing then. I did not realize this. Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
I can trance later.
Violet would be going last otherwise, considering she needs sleep.
If I only trance for 2 hours, would that count as a short rest?
A short rest can be done in 1 hour.
Oh.
Yes.
And just for function, short rest will allow you to heal an amount of hit die that you want to use, as well as any other resource that does explicitly recover on a short rest. It does not, however, have all of the benefits that a long rest would.
Yeah, I'm reading about it right now. So sorcerer
Okay, well,
hit die 1.
I was just asking about trance because trance can take 4 hours for a long rest, which is 8 hours.
Well, this is the whole. Okay, we're going. We're.
I was just wondering.
What are the dice results? Like, what am I roll? Am I?
Don't worry about it,
So
Avery.
hit
don't
dice,
need it.
basically,
We're gonna
it's
be away.
whatever die you roll for when you level up to get HP. So if that's a D10 for your class, whatever, you have as many of those as you do for your full level, and you can roll an amount of those to heal yourself, basically, in that time. But that
So-
resource is then deducted from your total out of your level until you take a long rest.
So what does it mean when it says 1d6 plus 2? Where's that plus 2 coming from? I'm assuming that the
That's coming
1d6
from
is
your
my hit
constitution.
dice.
That's coming from
I
your
see,
constitution.
okay.
strength. Yeah.
And total 20?
But I'm guessing we're all doing rotated long rests.
Yeah, total 20. So
Right.
hypothetically, just to go ahead and explain this, that means if you were to take a short rest and then, say for example, spend 8 of your hit die. That means you have 12 remaining, but you do not have the full 20 to utilize until you take a long rest. You can also expend them fully and not be able to utilize your hit die for any other resource or any other short rest until you then take a long rest. It's explicitly a mechanic that's mostly used in prolonged dungeon crawling, which, if this...
That's not what we're doing.
So Venestra has a question.
Yeah.
Should Venestra use flock of familiars and send them out to scout/map the place out a bit?
Do you want
I
to?
I feel like that's stir a hornet's nest.
Yeah. Right now
It's
we're
gonna
respecting their
attract
space.
attention.
Yeah.
Right now we're respecting their space. As long as we respect their space. Vampires are
Mhm.
usually very
Chill.
organized.
They're chill until they're hungry. So
Or horny.
don't.
Alright. Well,
Or
we'll pick up
They
on
have
this
black leather instead
clarification
for a
when
fucking
it
reason.
is time for me to take that short rest.
Yes.
Um,
So I'm guessing
which-
Violet just runs off with Halcyon.
Well, Violet looks at Piper and says,
Hmm.
I am out.
We'll sleep.
Going to sleep.
Go.
I'm going to sleep.
Go.
Okay.
I need
And she starts just going shoo, essentially.
for Halcyon. She's like, she puts her arms up. She goes, up now, please. Sleep.
Boss.
Okay.
All right. So, who's taking the first watch?
it was me and Piper.
You guys are taking the first one, okay.
Yeah.
First things first, I want both of you to go ahead and give me a stealth check to maintain the subtlety of your position.
I'll eventually work on stealth. I just got to
Oh,
remember to
well,
do stealth.
okay, that's not bad. That was a total of 15. I know it sounds
Along
bad,
with the
but I have a
bonuses from
+1.
the Moonlight there?
10 plus 19? 29? That is with plus, because I only have a +5 stealth, so add in a, yeah.
So
Okay,
it's
so it's a
29
+5.
plus my 15?
No.
Hmm.
Mine is 29 because I rolled a 19. I have a 5 stealth, and then there's 5 extra from
There's
the
an ambient
Moonlight
5
thing.
point bonus for the
Ambient 5.
Moonlight
Okay,
thing.
so that's a soft 20 for me.
Soft 20, 29, okay. As far as you can tell, your presence in the doorway, alongside the many subtle aspects of the spells, hasn't drawn any immediate attention to the two of you. Now, as far as keeping a keen eye out, both of you roll me perception checks. Is this again a +5 bonus?
No.
I'm letting you know
No.
before I went to sleep.
Oh, wait,
Violet
yes,
was-
it is a +5. I read wrong.
Violet does what
Or-
before she goes to bed?
Before Violet went to bed, because you asked us for a perception check, it was a 23.
Oh, no. Perception check will be on your watch.
Okay.
Right now, the ask was just Piper and Avery.
Okay.
What's 19 plus 16? Because I can't math.
19,
15 or 25.
35,
Right.
actually.
35. Yeah. I had
Okay.
my brain failed to math for a minute there.
Okay, 35.
What?
For perception. Because I
19
rolled a
plus 16.
19. Because that's 11 plus the ambient 5.
The ambient +5 bonus from the spell.
Okay.
Yeah. I
And
can't just click it and then it applies to the whole party, but it'd be cool
I
if it did.
rolled 2, and I have a +3 bonus. So that's 5 plus the 5. It's a total of 10. Perception.
Okay. So, Piper, definitely objectively the more perceptive of the two in this situation. Perhaps bolstered by the ambient feeling of not really even just being watched, but like the thing that is watching you or the things that are watching you are appraising you like staring at a side of beef. It's a skin-crawling, almost prey-like state of mind. Hard to shake off.
Ironically, would Avery be somewhat used to this kind of working in the adult industry?
Different prey state.
Hmm.
Oh, regular. Okay.
Swear to God.
It's okay, dude.
All right, different brain state, still uncomfortable. Got it.
Yeah, it's not like you're getting
I told him it was comparatively
ogled. It's like
no. I told him it was comparatively like when a killer walks into a bar where there is that kind of a situation and is waiting for that person to leave, and you can tell that they're waiting for that person to leave.
yeah. Okay. So at any rate, with that ambient feeling, as well as a dryness that reaches your mouths, it just barely hits that edge before thirst can take hold.
Hate that.
The room is yours.
Avery kind of like clears their throat.
You alright?
Mouth's just a little dry. It's nothing.
Sure.
Yes, I'm sure. Why did you do it?
Because I honestly thought it was like every other situation where people have either used disguise self or makeup or something like that, trying to hide something small and insignificant, which turns around, it kills them in the end because I didn't see it.
But there was no discussion. It was purely force. You assumed that without
Because
any inference.
Because after too many times of having people walk out of my clinic and dying the next day because I didn't catch it, I just assume everybody lies.
Everybody does lie.
I'd rather be saving people's lives before they die.
Reasons aside, can you at least understand how that felt in the slightest?
Yes, because if I had known what it was before, because honestly, I thought it was something like a big infection on your nose you were hiding. Literally what I thought. Literally had a dwarf die from that a couple years ago.
That seems like his problem, not yours.
I feel responsible because I should have seen it and I didn't.
I hate to ask you this, but is it alright if I kind of take a stroll through your mind? I know that sounds weird, but I feel like it can really help alleviate the tension here.
Depending why?
I want to understand the feelings and emotions that pushed you to make those unruly actions towards me.
You're not going to be painful about it, are you?
No, I'm always gentle. There's like a small little smirk, like chuckle smirk.
I've been trying to learn telepathy with Angel, and it hurts. You're having a hard time with me.
I've been doing this for years. My master was the best of the best. I won't go into the specifics, but he was racially inclined to have a proficiency in this type of thing.
All right. Avery does not realize he's about to walk into the death of 90,000 people sitting in Piper's brain that she feels guilt for.
All right, so I'm going to.
First,
So with that, you got to take your ring.
I gotta take the ring of
So
mind shielding.
I look at her ring, back at her.
Whoa!
Whoa.
I was reading this. I was reading how you're supposed to attune to it again. I will talk about that later. Anyway. Back. Okay.
Didn't realize I muted myself. So you guys have settled on
Deep dive.
Brain deep dive.
Okay.
I do have a question because Violet is asleep at this point. Where did you find this, Nina?
Excuse me.
Somebody I'm scared, Megan.
I'm so sorry, Nina. Okay.
He's asleep.
Joe, I have a question. With
Sure.
Violet having the brain awake and what, because we've had this discussion, where Violet can walk through dreams. I have a question. She can't hear them outside the space, right? Because of the way we did the enchantments, right?
Dreams are also a little weird when you're in the abyss.
Yeah, but we had a specific thing put around their bed. We had that discussion.
Yeah, this is not going to be something you can walk into, as this is a conscious act, not an unconscious one.
Okay, good. Because that stone being out, this is her nightlight, is a different monster entirely.
But any wisdom saves I've got to do, I'm just gonna auto fail it because my wisdom save is stupid.
I assumed you were going to just kind of opt into it and bypass the wisdom savings.
I know. I was just saying, for mechanical's sake. Yeah, I'm forced failing.
I didn't even think we were rolling anything this time. Yeah.
With any saving throw, the target can choose to fail.
Yeah.
Death by snooze. It happened a lot. See that?
No. All right.
How do you know that
Anyway.
did refuse the full brain connection?
And did you finish taking the ring off?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't really have to do much to attune to it.
Okay.
I just take it off.
You see Avery take a deep breath in, out, and your eyes kind of go blank for a moment, staring into an unknown distance, before a pink and purple glow emanates around them, around his eyes, around his head. And as you look at this glow, it starts to feel like it's penetrating your very psyche. DM's turn, or who goes beyond that?
She wants you to explain what's going on in Piper's head, and I don't think she was there for all 90,000. She just feels guilty because her mother killed them. She was there for at least 400 to 500 of them. At least 3,000 to 4,000.
I can probably describe it. So, you see her in a clinic that looks not like how her clinic looks now. Nowhere near. And she is sitting in the secretary's seat. And you're seeing pregnant women come in various states of labor, hysteria, shit like that. And so she has him check in, and sends them back. A lot of times, they don't come back out. Or they do come back out, but not with their child. There's also days when she is the one in the clinic. And because at the time she was not allowed to use magic, if something happened and the person died, she couldn't do anything to stop it. Because she wasn't skilled enough. She eventually learned how to do some magics that way she could prevent some unnecessary deaths, because her stepmother hated the idea of using magic for this. We find out later on, the stepmother was stealing their souls.
That's all she was doing. She was using magic to steal her souls.
She was using magic to steal her souls, and whenever Piper was caught using magic, Piper was beaten. A lot. But she didn't care.
By the way, Avery, while you're taking this panoramic walk through Piper's mind, I want you to make a wisdom saving throw.
As expected. As expected. I was waiting for that to come along. Okay. But wisdom save is +3. So that's a soft 12.
As you're walking, some of the stretches of memory seem longer than they should, like you're stepping into gaps. They don't feel like Piper's. Doesn't feel like her soft earth back to remember. Feeling over her life and her mind, soft, cold earth again. The earth reacts to your steps like neurons firing with electricity back to Piper's memories. Soft earth is that headstone back to Piper's memories. Make another wisdom saving throw for me.
Make another wisdom save?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, you cut out.
Saying Piper repressed memories, she absolutely did.
Oh, this is this
Oh,
feels
no, that's
distinctly
worse.
like it's not Piper's mind.
It's his own. His own.
Okay.
This is worse. Okay, that's a total of 6.
Oh shit. Listen to that.
From the outside, because while you guys are diving and delving into each other's minds, that you still have enough conscious presence to see the world in front of you. It's that difference between visualizing thought and still being able to see.
Mm-hmm.
I just figured he was in it and I was just still conscious of everything else, waiting for him to get done and over with.
Avery, you lose track of the physical world. For a moment, you're just zoned into Piper's mindscape, losing yourself to those memories. Again, soft earth. Why do you feel tired? Why are you so fucking tired? You feel cold. Your body physically shivers. That brain-like pendant around your neck glows soft blue and purple. You lose track of thinking for a moment. You're back to yourself. You're not looking through Piper's head. You guys are, as you shake and clench your eyes, shake your head, trying to refocus. You're doing a watch to make sure no vampires sneak up on you. That's right, you're in a vampire world. Probably best to focus on that.
But I did manage to feel the weight of these traumas.
Yeah, you recall doing that. Piper, you notice that Avery's nose is bleeding just a little.
I'm gonna offer a bandage, because if he says he's allergic to magic, I'm gonna believe him.
I'm not allergic to magic. I was allergic to the paladin magic.
She heard the word magic and was like, "All magic he's allergic to." Got it.
But it'll accept the bandage. He'll kind of store it away because a bandage isn't really what he needs for a bleeding nose. He'll kind of pull.
It's not really a
tissue.
bandage. It is essentially the D&D version of a tampon. You shove it in your nose.
Oh, okay. Sure. I do that.
Tube Shorts ruined it for me. The only thing I can think of now is the term ketchup plug.
Stop it.
Bad.
Stop it.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. I understand. I forgive you.
I'm gonna put the ring back on because fuck being brain naked out to the world.
I see. Rings back on.
You know, it's funny. When you have my skill set, you start to become immediately wary of anyone who wears any kind of mind protection because you're so used to finding your securities in other people's minds.
Well, I have a succubus as a stepmother. I don't need anybody poking around in my mind, probably more than she's already done so in my past. Who knows how many times she did. Plus,
I
in this
understand that. I'm not going to
sort of a
force you to
place,
learn anything.
you don't need your thoughts out for everybody to read.
Okay.
I understand that. I wasn't trying to get you to take it off. I was just expressing my
Oh no, you're fine.
my first thought on that ring.
And I was just saying, why? I do.
It would be at this point, Avery, that you do notice the goosebumps on your skin.
Is it cold out here?
It's not. It's just barely uncomfortably warm and cold in spots. It's inconsistent and disconcerting, but that kind of goosebump usually only pops up if you're in cold for a somewhat prolonged period or if you've been thoroughly creeped out.
Have I been either?
The fact that you don't remember where those came from is a little creepy.
Fair.
Makes them worse.
I'm gonna kind of like rub at them, try to get them to fade away.
They slowly do. And Piper, being as perceptive as you are, in his right eye, same eye where his right nostril started to bleed, there is just a slight off tint in his iris, a mix of blue and purple that's there for just a moment before it fades back, similar to the amulet.
Making a mental note.
Oh, what?
Mental.
I'm lost. No, I'm talking. What's happened? My eye turned blue and
purple.
purple. Strange. That's not my magic. Or maybe it was my psionic magic.
The change in shifts now?
Yeah, let's go ahead. We'll say we took our time to do that, and now it's time to change shifts.
Shift change.
Okay. Shift change. Who's next?
Amira
Is it-
and Venestra.
Amira and Venestra. Okay.
They offered. Hello?
Is Nessie there? Okay. Your watch buddy is your dragon dude,
Okay.
but it's V and Amira. Woo. There's too many V's.
It's Violet. It's not Violet, it's Venestra.
Yeah.
Okay, so Violet and Venestra, it is now your watch. 20 and
20
10.
and
20 for the stealth and 10, or hold on, stealth first. So 10 for Vanestra's stealth and 20 for yours. Are we factoring in the +5 as well?
Oh, stealth. Both your perception and your stealth will have an extra +5 from the part
That said,
thingy.
you could also choose to just let Amira instead help you and give you advantage overall, rather than making it separate rolls.
26 and 27.
20, okay, decent. You two feel incredibly confident that you are unnoticed in this environment filled with predators, which is ironic considering your professional proclivity. Fair enough, which means Amira inherently does get advantage. Invisibility does do that. So in case you want to reroll for Amira, in that case, you may do so. Speaking of which, it helps when I read off the text. 26 and 27 stealth +5 for V and Amira. Amira also turns herself invisible. I need to remind myself to read what is being typed so that people who are watching know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Now it'd be perception, right?
32 for, okay.
Yes.
Cool. Perception next.
32 for Amira, 31 for me.
All right. 32 and 31. Both of you ever keen and ever observant. Nothing of significant or major concern seems to cross your path, other than for a moment in the hallway outside of where you are. The rooms get darker, the hallway and the torches seem to just for a moment snuff out and then light back up, as if something passed by but took no notice. Is there anything you would like to address with your companion? Or would you like to move on?
Well, that's how it is. And,
To just engage in idle chatter.
Idle chatter.
Okay. In which case, then, your portion of the watch goes off without a significant hitch, although there is still that ever-creeping feeling. And though the torches have lit up, it does seem more dim than it was. Next, we have we have Xanon and Ravik.
She asked magically dim.
Magically dim? No. Doesn't seem like there seems to be some magically artificial dimness that has been placed upon everything, but it seems like the torchlight itself is less intense than it previously was. Whether that in and of itself is magic in nature. Yeah, Devil's Sight. There's not really a part of this where everything's gone completely and fully dark. But the drop in the intensity of the light is noticeable as a bit of that monochromatic filter begins to seep in from just dark vision and Devil's Sight.
Dark vision plus devil sight is fun.
Oh yeah. how do you end your rest? Or wake, I suppose, choose to wake the next pairing of this group
do I need to
for
roll?
their stage. We'll get to that in a moment. I guess we'll see. Okay. You are gently poked awake by Venestra.
It's my turn. That's what I say to her.
Magic a big, tall dragon laying just poking a tiny person. It's like, boop. That it is, though do be cautious, the lights are somewhat dimming.
Good to know.
Okay. Xanon, any major interactions you want to make with any PCs? Something you want to do meditatively or passively while your watch is ongoing? Or do you just want to roll and move on?
I assume everyone is asleep.
Aside from yourself and your draconic companion, yes.
Hmm. No. I'll just. I'll just meditate.
Meditate, okay. All right. Stealth first. Both yourself and Ravik. Or you can have Ravik give you advantage.
One second.
Be sure to add an additional +5 to your check either way.
Okay. I'll do it with advantage.
Okay.
Uh, 21.
21. Yeah, you feel confident that you and your golden-colored companion managed to, keep yourselves very subtle alongside, the additional subtleties that have been afforded to you by the environmental spell. And now for your perception checks.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Just gonna add 5 to that.
Yeah.
That's 26.
Okay. Next for your perception checks.
Perception. Is that separate or that?
You can keep it separate, or you can have Ravik help you. Or you can help Ravik.
I think I'll help him.
Okay. Then what is Ravik's perception with advantage and an additional +5?
+5 is 33.
33. I've noticed his whispering in the halls away from you. What languages do you understand?
Common, Draconic, Primordial, Elvish, Celestial, Gnomish, Yuan-Ti, and Aqua.
Okay. Is is not a language that you understand nor know to comprehend, but you hear in this hissing whisper. Karer naknada marmur destan sanguisa orneria. Voltiel.
Joe, did you learn deep speech just for this bit?
I am bullshitting sounds to make it sound like a magic language.
It's damn good, dude. Could have fooled me.
Does it sound like threatening or hostile?
It sounds conniving. And you can't help but feel that stronger sensation of your skin crawling. Tief und kalt. And the sounds and whispering drifts away. As they pass by the doorway to the room that you're hidden in, the torches get just a little dimmer. Not snuffing out like the previous passage, but just a little dimmer for a moment. Or returning to their previously still dim, but not altogether bright intensity. As otherwise, your watch goes by without further concern.
Interesting.
Make a wisdom saving throw for me, Xanon.
Oh my. Wisdom. 17.
You gain this thirst. It feels mental more than it does physical. Strange. You need to drink something, need to taste something, something close, something real, something raw, something warm. Almost unconsciously, your hand starts to drift up toward your mouth. I want you to roll me one for Ravik as well.
18.
Ravik, despite being in a shifted humanoid form, his teeth almost unconsciously shift back to those razor sharp draconic ones. Both of you, your wrists reach your mouths. Start to bite down for a moment until you feel that slight twinge of pain and snap back to your senses. Just before you've broken your own skin. You swear you almost hear laughter in the hall beyond. No, it's just the wind. It's gotta be. As your watch comes to an end, how do you awaken the sleeping dog and her paladin companion?
Huh. If it's a dog, I would assume it would hear me walking up to it.
I don't know. This dog sleeps like a rock. Vanestra, shake a bag of dog food. It's the only way.
Say the word
I would
walk.
wake up. I would wake up the paladin then. Just gentle shake of the shoulder.
Dreamt about nothing but blood. Not a fun dream.
Speak for yourself. Rude.
I've had worse nightmares.
Nessie.
Nessie!
Where'd he go?
It's probably a sword.
He liked the taste of his arm too much.
He died. Also, what the Bram Stoker's Dracula is this? I know, I'm kidding. I know where we are. I
It's
expected this.
literally the vibe of the place you're in.
Bram Stoker's? I'm
No.
tired, okay?
Bram Strokers is no, Bram Strokers is the parody.
Discord crash.
I'm tired. I'm sorry.
Gently shake
getting
the
worse,
shoulder.
Joe.
of the paladin.
Gore we
I'm
go.
disintegrating a little, I think.
I hold a chariot to screen gore you shocking. I gotta delete some of these screenshots.
Okay, how do you choose to awaken? No, you already woke Halcyon, so. Well, you look a little shaken. Suggest you get some rest. It's our turn, sweetness. Let's make the
I did
most of
hear
it.
some
You heard something.
a voice.
To clarify, you heard a pair of voices, one of which did sound somewhat
Pair of
feminine.
voices. They almost convinced me to bite myself.
Oh, wonder.
Did you?
I think Violet would still be asleep. Violet's still like under Halcyon, just like looks like the dead. Literally when she's sleeping at the moment, because she's not shifted into dog form at the moment.
Slides the finger right into her ear.
Ah! Butter bimbos.
Oh, there we go. Joe got fixed. Oh,
Yep.
never mind. I spoke too soon.
You spoke too soon.
Cameras.
How dare you?
Turn the camera off and turn it on again.
Okay. Or maybe we just let Discord crash again. Maybe that'll fix it.
No. Turn the camera off and on again.
Hello.
So, hello. You said you heard of what? Did I hear that right? Somewhere in my dream about blood and meat. Skin. At this point, you can see their
percentile for each
salivation.
watch, just to clarify.
I'm letting you know you can see their salivation just coming out of the side of her mouth. Voices. Did you know what they were speaking? By any chance? Or are you just lost on that situation?
I'll do my best to repeat what I remember.
Okay, roll
Do I
me
recognize it?
a charisma check to try and scrape from your memory the twisted tongue that crept into your mind.
Okay, let's look at the extra. V is just lounging about.
Computer is a bit frozen.
so she can hear what Neseo is saying.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to refresh it. Hold on.
Take your time. Technology is problematic sometimes. Case in point, fucking Discord crashing me every time I'm about to get into the intense part of the description.
At one time, it cut you off while you were saying "son of a bitch."
Seems it gives me just that brief half-second bridge time to display my expletives before I leave.
Stop.
I swear to God, my next line's gonna be.
I'm waiting.
Give
Okay. Can someone roll a d20 for me?
Sure. Who would like to roll for Neseo?
Is a 16 good?
+4. It's 20.
Soft
Yeah,
20.
yeah.
It's broken, there are some words missing, but you managed to spit out most of it. It is a heavily... Well, of the three that are awake, who are familiar with the language Infernal?
Fenestra, Universal Translator kicks in.
Nobody else is awake except for these people.
V and Violet. Okay. The V's for Vendettas recognize it. It is a very, very heavily and thickly dialected and even accented Infernal.
Does it sound almost distinctly like a Sylvan version of Infernal? With that heavy articulation? Or is there a dialect in the back? Because Violet studies languages.
There's a dialect to it that definitely... biologically, it reeks of someone trying to speak through teeth that are elongated past what the body is used to. So it's speaking through longer than normal teeth. Through that, there's also an accent that forms.
They don't their teeth down?
At least this pair didn't.
Why would a vampire shave down its teeth? Isn't that what it needs?
The translation, roughly, at least as far as disjointed as it was, new visitors. Warm visitors living. 5. Hiding. Out of sight. Not reach. Let's have a little fun.
Ugh.
Violet goes and gets ready. Then why did you... Okay. Go back to sleep. The Swisher tells him, she goes, don't. Just go back to sleep. I got this.
Of some of the broken words that he produced, there were some bridge words that probably decidedly landed it in a more eloquent and likely description, but the words that you were able to piece together summed it up.
Violet and then we're just gonna go and get ready, and she looks over at Halcyon. He also understands Infernal, so I don't know if that's not in his sheet or not, but that's
He
one
understood
thing
it, and he
he's
just kind of quietly absorbed it, or what he heard. Not too keen on being toyed with.
No. Neither am I.
It's not like we can avoid it, though, landing in a place like this. It's our turn.
That's not necessarily true. We could be entertaining instead of being food.
Well, they didn't feed on any of us, did they?
No. Which means that usually some bigger fry is going to address us at some point, and luckily we're the last ones awake.
Another thing of note, also, Neseo, those voices, neither of them matched the one that seemed to welcome you into this place.
Yes.
Gotcha. Well, gonna go to sleep now.
Good night. Violet walks over to the edge of the door and does not hide herself inside of the door.
Okay. You can either roll a separate stealth check from Halcyon, or you can allow him to grant you advantage.
With an 18 plus whatever my stealth is, I have no idea. That's not what I wanted you to do. I want to keep listening to Fallout above.
No.
Oh.
Come on, D&D Beyond.
It's D&D,
Go.
D&D Beyond.
D&D Beyond. It's D&D.
I can feel it.
That's a 21, DM. For stealth.
21. Despite not making a major effort to hide yourself, the magical aura does still offer some additional boon. Not to mention Halcyon, preferring to be cautious, does his best to make sure that no immediate attention is drawn to either of you. I believe it would be more advantageous to be aware of what may approach us, rather than it be aware of us while approaching.
Well, I mean, you can hear the mental connection that they have, the two of them, because they've been training for months. I'm going to say that it's probably going to be a bigger fish.
Probably.
Because I smell like dog. I did not
And
bait.
now for the percentile on your watches.
That's a 19 for my perception check.
19.
Plus.
Plus 5, plus whatever.
Plus 3. This character doesn't have, this version sheet of that one doesn't have high perception check. The other one does.
Okay. Another roll for not a hostile encounter, but still. Your watch seems to go by mostly undisturbed, except for the errant pools of blood that still decorate the room that you reside within. Their design seems to slowly shift. A dog-like dragon. Dragon and its rider. Humanoid, towering, dragon-like being, and its small companion. Crude like the drawings of a child, all in crimson. Little man with a brain about his neck.
I'm letting you know that distinct imagery makes Violet very curious, considering what she's heard from Angel and Griffin and Viper about where Angel lives.
And with that particular role, Violet, I want you to make me a vibe check.
Great. Only natural 20 of the night so far. Good vibe. Good vibe check for Violet.
As you see the designs shift, you swear in the shadows you see a small form, occasion catching the red flickering firelight. Just barely can red itself, translucent, but gone. Small little form, tracing weightless fingers through pools of crimson. As it fades again into the shadows.
Violet being dog form. It's very
Looking
cute.
at-
Doggo.
With that, I would say with that roll as well, being a natural 20, you do note some of the dust-covered bones in this room. A little on the small side.
She looks at Halcyon, knowing what he is and what he can see. Do you see them? Yes, she can see beyond the veil, so she can see the shape that's there.
It's still uncharacteristically subtle, even with see beyond the veil.
But he as like a divine's child.
He'll go ahead and use divine sense. Well, this should be obvious, but there is a fairly heavy presence of undead around. Vampires do fit that description. But there is a subtle presence. Very close by.
The child bones, are they a full skeleton?
Bits and pieces, not completed.
She very gingerly, as dogs tend to do, and with when they do considerately calm movements, pulls out her small pouch that she's got for human remains or creature remains that she wants to bring back with her to heal. And gingerly puts a couple of those little bones very slowly, like dogs do when they're just like, I'm gonna take this and put it in the bag.
Like this.
Take this and put it in the bag.
Interesting note. While many of the bones in this room, easy to move, light, lost, disjointed, there's a density and weight to these bones. It shocks you as they almost drag when you try to retrieve them.
She paints a tree on the ground with just the edge of her paw.
In the blood. Okay.
And the sun. And grass. And puts a child next to herself as a form.
You watch as the sun is smeared to the form of a crescent moon. Tree is stripped of its leaves. A child disappears from next to you and sits on a swing that gets drawn onto the tree. Before the swing and the child disappear, leaving 2 leftover ropes, as if the swing was broken. Leftover lines, it is crude.
Is the blood being dragged? Or just smeared?
Dragged. Pulled. Not smeared.
So Violet gently takes a little more of it.
When you draw with it, it does smear. That is different.
She puts Halcyon, and she puts the dog form that she has, and she puts the child, and she puts a house. See if it wants to follow them.
All of the blood rapidly shifts. The house grows and grows and grows as all the humanoid forms disappear. Grows into a man. The pattern just grows into door after door after door after door until the blood just thins out and spreads across the floor.
Leaving some of the errant dirt and ash, some of her own pawing the floor. And showing them the Feywild and the ring that they live on. And the cataclysm that would happen if they don't get through.
Give me a persuasion check. As Violet.
Okay.
15.
18.
18.
19, Jack. 19 plus 3. 19 plus 3, 22.
22. Okay.
That's really good for Violet. Violet doesn't have a good perception. It's really great for Violet. Big doggo excitement. Big doggo excitement. Big doggo excitement.
You watch the shadows shift again. As the doorknob to the room that you all hide within starts to turn. And that's where we're going to take a break.
Damn it, Joe.
Perfect.
Welcome back, everybody, from the break. Some of us, however, are still indisposed, and that's okay. So,
Is that the sound I choose to make? The doorknob starts to turn.
Violet doesn't move.
As it opens, you see this large, lumbering, almost oversized hulking imp in its shape. Large, powerful, incredibly sized teeth. Its skin, stone-like in its color, dare be its texture. You hear grinding stone as it shifts and moves, and in the moments that it stands still, it is completely and totally still. There's no breath to meet it. You know what these things are even without having to be in the abyss, staring upon a gargoyle. Looks around the room.
Gargoyles are imps.
I was putting the shape into a reference. I mean, there are some gargoyles that are small enough to basically be imp-like, in their shape, but you know.
Don't insert gargoyles like that. I love that show.
Yeah, I was making a reference to the body shape, I suppose. But yeah, the thing that Vanessa put in chat, I'd say that's pretty apt to what shows up.
Okay.
This is not Goliath has walked through the door. This is that.
Will you to inform him on the side? Remember what's going on? What walked in?
So, pretty much right as the break-in did, and the doorknob that was turning, a gargoyle has opened the door and is starting to look about the room.
But nobody else is awake. Everybody's asleep. Except for Violet and Halcyon.
It looks around. You can hear the shifting and grinding stone as its eyes turn. It looks down, seeing the childlike diorama on the floor. It loosely grabs an old wicker broom, just scrapes it across the patterns.
Rude.
Turns around and wanders back out into the hall, leaving the door open.
At least have some courtesy and shut the door.
They're probably being
For
invited.
those that understand Primordial, and in particular have familiarity with the dialect Terran.
That was one of the reasons we did the 2-year gap.
Yeah.
Ando was teaching me about languages.
It grunts. This old room is a mess. Need to figure out what the masters want to put in here. The ghosts are drawing again, as it grunted and walked back out.
You mistook the room for one of its rooms.
Yeah. It seemed to make a wrong turn, look down at the drawings with annoyance, smear them, and walk away.
Violet again takes the blood, draws a small child, and puts a question mark in the center of it. And what would be a question mark in Infernal? As to ask what its actual nature was, what it was before it came here.
As blood begins to shift and move and start to carve a drawing in response. The torchlight from the halls outside snuffs. Finally getting close to the torches right in front of your door.
I have seeing in the dark, Joe.
You do. As you see, traced in monochromatic form, feminine, cloaked, tall, gaunt, beautiful, starved and hungry looking. Powerful woman whose eyes gleam with the crimson that was just snuffed from the fires in the halls. I do apologize that it took us so long to start introducing ourselves. I do hope you've rested enough, and that's where we now cut for a moment back to a snake tunnel in the Feywild.
Holy shit! You left me in a hanger on that one in the dark. Oh, I sound like a kid.
Vega gets cliffhanger each
Hold on.
round.
I can't. Okay, pull myself back together. Okay, so they sing. If anybody knows what come, I don't know if anybody knows Bastion. It's one of my favorite video game sounds, but it's okay if we sing it here because that's literally Twitch. They can't get mad at us for terms of service because it's an actual game song.
Bastion is what Vanestra said.
Bastion.
The only Bastion I know is Hollow Bastion from Kingdom Hearts.
Let me just say, before getting into the Feywild stuff, I'm very happy with the reactions I'm getting.
I know, but you have to understand I'm having to pull from my hairstyle from character to character. My brain just went... Okay.
So... what are you looking for? A
No, he
voice.
Sing.
Oh, you guys, that's right. You guys have started to sing.
She sings, instead of saying, "Mother, I'm here," her father is literally Piff.
Mhm.
So she replaces the word mother with father.
The trickling sounds that mimic flowing water down here start to sound a little bit more natural than serpent-like. As more and more of these snakes give way along again that snaking path, every pun absolutely intended. Moving through the halls, you come to what might as well be snake spawning pits flanking you on either side of a hanging stone bridge with no rails. But these snakes are not writhing and going to their normal business as they would, but each of their heads stand at attention, observing you, observing Nick, looking at your amulet as if observing Alana and whosoever else might be within. Their heads following you as you walk by. Your voice is having produced, seemingly at least, the effects of a snake charmer. At least hopefully. As I'm trying to switch the fucking playlist track. There we go. As you pass through, largely uninterrupted by each passing serpent, While you feel watched, finally you enter into an antechamber that is flanked by this massive carved stone serpent's mouth, the center of which something that looks like where a bed would sit. But instead you find a large vase, atop which sits a stone serpent statuette. The stone itself dark, almost onyx-like in its color, and the errant light that seems to be near it almost drawn into the statue. Room ever so silent, and there arises, especially in this room, music that seems to start to clash with your own. A subtle lost violin whispers in song, discordant and wrong.
She looks over at Nicodemus and she takes his hand, letting that feeling of them together overpower that eminent, which is godly light, which is between them.
With Nick's help, roll performance with advantage. For once, it's not in bed.
I need the other dice because it's getting cocked. I don't know why. We need the medals. I dig my hole, you build a wall. Dig my hole, you build a wall. One day that wall is gonna fall. That makes us, it's a natural 20 for this performance, so it's a 43.
In what tone are you trying to sing this in? What timbre, what pattern, what...
It's taking those two discordant sounds and making a harmonizing voice out of it, breaking the sound of that one, and using thaumaturgy to make it louder than that thing.
Because what you learned already from the snakes is that at least the dark face seemed to operate off of distorted and discordant sound already. But this is something that seemed to almost poison their sound.
But this is what they would sound like, is they would mix those two sounds to make sound.
Okay. And what was your total for your performance?
43.
Okay. As you sing, you swear you start to hear the countering songs start to slowly produce the sounds of sylvan letters. Just barely.
This is a song that even the children know. She pulls the children out of the necklace and play the instruments in the same song. And using the necklace, she's going to amplify that sound tenfold. And that includes guitar, that includes everything. All the holy children, everybody pulling their instruments out.
Okay.
It's gonna be
Slowly,
pretty cool sound.
but surely, the sylvan letters in their equivalents in common start to slowly spill out. N. U. R. A. N. A. What do you do?
R-N-A?
N
That's the
U Urana. That's the equivalent for trying to pronounce that in common.
So she says the name backwards.
Anarum.
They said backwards. It's the opposite of what it is. Because that's what Fae is. And you'd have to say it backwards. So technically, Piff would be Fip.
Piper's just gonna be Piper. Please don't pronounce her name backwards. It's weird.
You try and say it backwards.
Repeater?
No result.
Okay, so what is that word in Sylvan? Because I know what that word means in Sylvan. What does it mean? Each name has a meaning.
The only thing that seems to have any direct translation into Sylvan is it's spelled as it appeared. Urana. Urana translates to cold scale. Roughly. There's a few more intonations in that tone that speak of deeper meaning, deeper intensity, deeper power.
I am going to do something I haven't done, and I am going to, with that Sonic, that I'm gonna cast. Oh, I haven't ever cast this before. It's a new spell that I got access to. I don't know if I should do that. So I'm going to, with Angel of Favorite Nicodemus, I'm gonna let you know that it's said throughout the song, and she repeats the same sound to see what happens.
The more you repeat that name, Nuran, 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 the statue seems to draw in more and more light, growing the shadows around it. The shadow itself that comes from the statue seems to itself grow like a large, incredible encircling serpent. Its scales subtle, barely noticeable, barely visible. No life yet breathed into the shape. Like a sleeping
Angel
beast.
is going to begin to play a song called Ricky Tiki Tavi.
Oh!
I think I know that one. I can't picture the song, but I remember the show.
And
Movie.
she's going to sing it in that discordant sound still, and they're going to create this. They're going to try to create like a visual shape of a mongoose with their illusionary magic. Because this is actually how she does her shit.
Okay, Arcana check for me.
Oh, it's a natural 20. I told you, Angel's better than Violet in a lot of ways.
Yeah, she's a fucking bard. Her rolls are gonna be stupid every time.
Not only that, Violet is a barbarian. She's better
Angel
at
Doggo.
smashy smash.
Angel Doggo. Like, Angel not Doggo. Angel.
Singing.
Happy-go-lucky bean.
Violet, doggo that realizes she's way too big and uses that to her advantage.
With my Arcana, that is a plus 17. That puts us at 37.
37. Okay. Continuing to sing that discordant sound, continuing to repeat that name. The compass in your hand begins to violently shake. This snake splinter off of it. The compass falls apart. Single ember gem is left behind in your hands.
The Matrix is breaking down on Joe's end. Or on Joe's camera.
Whoa!
Not yet. Not yet. Not yet on mine. So I'm pretty happy with that.
It's fine
It's
for
been doing
me.
it a lot.
There's a glitch in the Matrix. It means something in the Matrix changed. The agents are coming to get you.
So,
Shit.
Angel looks over at Nicodemus. Keep going.
Keeps going with that offset to that discordant sound intermixed with
Yeah.
with the repetition of the name. Pizza, okay? Just
Discordant mixed with, yes, that.
Made it work.
It's one of my favorite. It's and he thinks about killing Nagaina.
the snake-like
Nagaina.
form continues to stretch, continues to grow. The shadows continue to grow and cling. Do you do anything
She's
alongside
going to make
seeing?
it rise, and she's going to polymorph herself into a giant mongoose.
Anything you want to do with the gem?
Oh, finally. Joe's
She's
back online.
going to use that as the color that she is going to defeat the mongoose with because it is the opposite color. It is the gem color she is picking for the fur.
So you're gonna go as an amber mongoose.
Well, what do you want me to do? You want me to grab it and hold it in my hand? All I can
I'm
do is hold it in my
clarifying.
hand.
I'm clarifying. You
I
want to
don't-
go as an amber mongoose.
You didn't give me anything with the Arcana check of what to do with the gem, so I'm just standing here with a gem in my hand.
The Arcana check shattered the compass and gave you the gem.
Okay, yeah, but then
No, I
What's
like
in
where
the
you're
gem?
going. I was just clarifying the form you were taking. Okay.
yeah, we're gonna take the giant mongoose, size of a
Okay.
dragon.
Dragon-sized, amber-colored mongoose. Okay.
No, let's go with the Tyrax mongoose. Big mongoose.
This chamber ain't big enough for that.
Damn it. Okay, big enough to be big enough for the chamber mongoose.
Okay. Mongo mongoose, amber-colored mongo mongoose.
And still hissing in that same sound, in that same pitch, matching it.
Okay. I'm going to roll a percentile.
Because mongooses are really smart. If they were big enough, they would kill us. Because we're food. Evolving mongooses.
Okay, I want you to roll me a percentile, Guinea.
A percentile?
A percentile.
A percentile.
Mm,
Okay. That is a 42.
Okay.
I don't know what that means, but I'm 42.
Okay.
I'm
Mm,
kind of proud of that. That was good.
The important
It's a
part of
good
this, despite the fact that also the 42 is still a gimme, it's lower than the roll I made, which works for this. So. As you rise to this mongoose-like form, glowing, just painted in that amber color, the snake continuing to grow out, continuing to be lifeless, then suddenly grows a head, grows teeth, still lifeless, suddenly lurches in your direction.
The mongoose back steps and then lurches back on the other side, because that's what they actually do. They're gonna bite the head off that thing. Because that's how they kill it, and they eat it.
I hope you don't eat it.
The fun
I'm gonna
thing
have a
about
vomit.
inversions. The mongoose bites the snake. Shadow fills the mongoose mouth like having bitten into a long, continuous
teeth?
being of poison. It spreads over you. You can feel the amber color, the amber teeth, everything, the amber, all of it being pulled into the snake. Like rather than an injection of venom, a taking of it. Yep.
Did you know that the mongoose eats the snake whole and actually has a body that can digest the venom?
I'm aware.
Okay.
Mongooses are fascinating.
I want you to
I
make me a
love
con
mongoose.
save to see if you sustain damage from this.
Okay.
What's the Mongoose's con save, actually?
I don't know, considering it's not even a CR. This is just her making a thing out of thin air, what she imagined a giant mongoose would look like.
Mongoose. 5e.
The huge! Well, I've got a 17 plus my con, which we're gonna, because my
For a
con
giant
stat.
mongoose would be for a saving throw would be a +4 for a giant mongoose.
Well,
So 21.
21. You do not sustain
21.
any damage. However, you are launched free of the mongoose form you took. Lurched backward into Nicodemus's arms. The mongoose
even
form
with the music going on and the illusory thing where it loses its
continues.
save throws.
It continues despite your voice, as does the form
Okay, I have a question.
outside of your own body.
Hold on. Yeah, hold on. Please. I only get to use things once in a while that actually are from my bardic stuff. Because would it, even though it tried to make an attack at me, it would have to make a saving throw of DC 20. For Majestic Presence.
Me too.
Okay, good.
As it bites, rattles, and attacks, mongoose form this turning, twisting assault
It
between the
couldn't
two
bite me.
shapes.
If it they have enough to move. That's why they're dangerous. That's why I'm very
Yeah.
confused. Yeah.
The animal logic here, however, seems to flip, seems to get twisted. As it continues to bite and strike and try to attack, the mongoose's form starts to turn as onyx black as the serpent, except for the eyes, which, as they get absorbed into the snake's head, you see almost like veins shooting along the serpent, as now it moves not with mechanical life, but organic life. It hisses and screeches and screams. The scream sounds feminine almost. Womanly. As now I've got to grab the image.
At this point, Angel takes out the last grenade she has.
Grenade! Sorry.
Hold on.
Frag out.
Where is it?
Sorry, Angel doing that. Just
I
tossing
got
grenades.
18 more sticks of dynamite the last couple of quests we went on. You left me with dynamite.
You didn't think Angel would hoard that shit?
It is Dragon Horde for a reason. It's one of the other things I was given because of the stuff we did with going back for Bosun's quest, which I got grenades, and traditional dynamite. I'm luckily I didn't get like one of those little detonatable.
Not you, Bosun. It's a different one. It was when we went back in time.
No, his name was Bosun. Bosun. He was taking his dad's name.
It was a Eve's ancillary character.
It's the one thing I managed to keep. It's the one thing I managed to keep.
What is his name, actually?
I'm gonna have to ask Eve. There was a special name, and I wrote it down, but it's in my other notebook that got lost.
I know it begins with an H.
There it is.
Oh.
Okay. So as this snake begins to let out an almost feminine screech, you ready your grenade? There is a flash of ember-colored light. And through the hisses, a feminine voice yells, "Stay your hand,
No.
little godling."
No.
As the serpent whips around, billowing from the shadows, a dress, body, form. The serpent itself almost stretching from the skirt of the dress. The hair flowing with shadow. It's a rude way to wake someone. As now standing before you, in her form also in session art,
Bitch is gonna die.
But what if that's the person you're looking for?
Well, if it's a person I'm looking for, they're gonna die once and come back to life, and that's gonna be fine.
is Nurana, the Serpent Queen.
Yeah, but she's a serpent queen from Abyss.
No.
Really? She looks like
Your
from the Abyss.
compass was covered in snakes. This passage through the Feywild and through the many Fey that addressed you were snake-like. This is the goddamn dark snake Fey. I thought I laid that on thick.
No, you didn't! You talked about the Abyss being involved.
Yeah, I talked about the Abyss putting them to sleep, and then there was
You
this...
gave us very little description.
I did the opposite, okay.
Finestra says it sounded Fey to her.
It didn't sound Fey to me. Snakes don't sound Fey to me.
They
Okay.
sound demonic.
They sound demonic.
Considering
They're
serpent
just
is
little
usually
wiggly dragons.
Well, he kept saying serpent. He didn't say snakes. He kept saying
He's
serpents,
saying
which makes us
serpents.
think of, for me and
Demonic.
Megan, yeah, because the serpent who tricked Adam and Eve.
Joe.
Right, this being is not meant to be biblical reference in any regard.
I get that. But you also have to understand, it's per player what they think.
Okay.
Everyone thinks a little bit different.
At any rate, she stands as the now serpent-like extension of her dress and form also turns to you in a look of befuddlement and amusement alike. Stay your hand, godling.
Why?
They or both.
If you're the
Are you
person who
not-
put everybody to sleep, you're in trouble.
I was put to sleep myself.
Oh, good. My job here is done. She gets herself together, puts the kids back in the necklace. Everybody back in, let's go.
Hello, can we get a replace?
And down 10 to go.
You watch as the caves above you as well, especially the serpent head, all start turning black like onyx. It's reflective, it's pretty in its own right. But it seems to almost catch and reflect the shadows.
Your
I do
true
have a
name's
question.
effects
Is
for the
this, but who
PlayStation
is the
one.
opposite of this? I don't know who the opposite of this.
Part of you. You know what? Go ahead and roll me a religion check.
Great, because that didn't make any sense. Because there's 4 that R could possibly be. Because first of all, Piff is water, and you said they're
Yeah.
water sounds. So I'm
I
having
mean-
a whole.
Piper's favorite animal is an owl. Maybe.
That's a possibility, but I didn't
We
go
don't
in
know.
your direction. The
Mhm.
natural 20 for that
Okay.
situation.
The thought crosses your mind of opposites attract. How Piff decided to shack up with the goddess of shadows,
Oh,
and how this lady very much looks like a delightedly twisted and evil version of Alara in some regards.
that's why he knew what a grenade was. I forget. Some of them don't know what a grenade is.
Also, I thought I laid it on a little thick with the whole water theming and the rivers and all that shit. But either way,
No, that part I got, but there were options. You have to understand. Angel trying to piece this together is like there are 16 other options that I could think of.
yeah, and being opposites does not necessarily mean opposites in every regard. Not to mention, I didn't necessarily describe them as opposites. I described them as mirrors.
Oh, okay.
So,
So, you okay now?
I'm livid.
Good.
By the
So
fuck.
are we.
she looks at her form, dressing, and just observing it. As she drags a hand along her arm, a sleeve appears, and then dissipates as she watches a scar show on her flesh.
Dear little Piff has been fighting. He will be. I have another task for you.
I didn't expect any less.
Go find my wretched brother.
But they always hate me. Fine.
Find him. Find Izam, the master of rodents.
Oh, I like rodents.
Indication here meaning he may be the mirror of Kalawai.
I like rodents.
One arch fade down. Several more to go.
She looks over at Nicodemus.
Go to where the small things retreat from the erupting rock. And go deep enough to find where they bury each other. Now I have work to do.
She looks over at Navarre. Can you run really fast?
Can I eat some of the snakes?
No.
Not unless you ask.
Ask nicely.
Can I eat some of the snakes?
Be nice and ask nicely.
May I
Not
eat
me.
some of the snakes?
Ask her, not me.
Turns his head and looks past you.
May I eat some of the snakes?
Please.
Say please.
Please.
Thank you.
May I rip the drake's wings off?
No, because I need him to get to your
Exactly.
brother.
No.
Leave.
You got your answer, Navarre. Shush.
I take off a dark onyx bracelet that I've had in my possession for however long since episode 4.
Ah,
Madre de Dios.
And I leave it as an offering. Because it
you
was
woke me up
blessed.
first.
Me.
She didn't say who, she said you.
You woke me up
Yeah.
first. For that I am delighted.
That's because you woke me up first.
You are owed one small. A life, perhaps. I can grant. Or snuff. If it's small.
Be there for me when the world gets dark.
That's how my world always is.
That's how I know you were there too.
Bed tilts, turning almost like a snake before a snake charmer's flute. And those eyes flash once more with that brilliant color of amber.
The girl and her witch light. Go. I need to stretch my limbs, and you can hear thundering cracks throughout the cavern.
Piff prefers absurdly small forms. She might prefer absurdly big.
Deceptively small forms. That's what water is. And that's when Angel looks over at Nicodemus, pull out the secondary bandit conch.
Okay, yeah, sure. Here's meat.
And you feed it to Navarre.
That's right.
I'm gonna need him to be the shadow through this light, because it's gonna be bright there. If she's dark, he's light.
You all might want to get out of here quickly. This place isn't healthy for Celestials.
Yeah, we're good.
You can already feel your skin start to itch as she's
Yeah,
awake.
Let's go.
As
She
you
gets back on the
all
back of Navarre.
rush to exit. You find yourselves again in a different dark place. Before a vampiress,
Oh, good!
the end of a long rest.
Violet's not going with the others. She's just gonna take that space with her. The small gym with her. She needs to protect them all. She can do it. And just like in Angels, they can pop out of it when they want to.
Toying with the spirits, are we?
And giving them a second chance.
It's ever so boring when only one of you is awake.
Yes.
Are you sure?
Looks over at Halcyon.
He's conked out.
And she pulls her head back with a look, and not what's the oldest speech she could probably speak? Using an older version of Sylvan. Coming from that dog, small. I think we can all remain civilized.
That we can. I haven't done any direct harm.
Yet.
Good. True to your patterns. On to you, little Violet.
Always.
Now then. We've all had our fun. Some of us have played. I will not promise that the play is over. But as I said, I would introduce myself.
I'm the one that keeps you fed.
No,
Not really. I'm joking.
not unless we hunger for you.
Well, thank you for that clarification.
I am
But I...
Babethia.
Nice to meet you.
You might survive this place if you find me again and get on my good side.
Oh,
She
but she's-
snapped.
Joe, I come with a question. I do need safe passage. But I need safe passage to keep the blood flowing. To this space, not away from it.
The blood always finds a way in. Some point.
Not within the 5 rings, it doesn't. Only in 4.
If you want to make your offer, find me again. I do love games. She snaps her fingers. She's gone. The firelight in the halls rise again. And the snap almost hurts like a whip crack, hitting each and every one of you, waking you from your sleep.
What was that?
Got to introduce my first vampire lord to you guys.
Avery's already getting out of whatever sleeping position they were in. Probably something like curled up and...
Wake slowly, eat. She puts her maw in to just tell you that. They know that we're awake. And I'd prefer to find the rest of them that are actually going to be helpful and not unhelpful.
She may be helpful if you seek her out. May not. First one that made herself known to you.
What happened to the guards?
They're not guards. We are guarding, but they can smell us. They're much older than you, and far more experienced in persuasion. I'm hoping that what that necklace or your person has taught you, whoever you came from. As you talked about where you came from on my back, I'm hoping that you have a little bit better.
V would wake up with a death glare at Violet for not doing her one gosh darn job. Yes, Violet, why didn't you two wake us when one showed up?
I'm not going to scream when they're staring at me with teeth.
Point of note, she didn't really bar hers. She kept them hidden behind her lips.
No, I'm just.
Wow, I am disintegrating, Veramber.
Yeah,
She looks over it, and she looks
you were
over.
disintegrating for me too.
She looks over at Venestra. They knew we were here last night when we came in. They can smell food. It's not that hard to smell food. I can speak from experience. But I can't convince the small ghost child to come with me. Maybe you can, and with your Amira.
Point of note, those who would like to, or at least those who have acknowledged the spirit before, vibe check for me.
Vibe check.
Soft 10.
I've asked for taste and vibe. Our vibe is a +9, so that's a
Custom skill, it's wisdom based.
29?
21.
Alrighty. 29, 21.
A vibe check is like your wisdom-based check, and then you can get proficiency in that specifically.
Yeah, it's like rolling inside on a room, almost.
It's like your gut feeling.
It's also just generally the check for pulling magical bullshit that there aren't normal mechanics for. Because I decided to make it easy for myself. Damn. Nat 20 from Amira or Nat 20 from Violet?
I kind of want to know what happens.
Nat 20 from Amira. Amira notes that this almost sad, playful-like energy that was in the room for a good long while is missing. As do the rest of you. Well, as do the rest of you that at least rolled at or above a 20.
The bones are missing too, right?
They are. Despite their weight, they are.
She takes out a small piece of clothing and she leaves it behind in the room as an offering. The small child, if they come back.
Okay. Having accomplished your long rest, do you all choose to try and leave your hideout to venture the halls of this place?
Well, after we have breakfast. After we
Oh,
make the
so
breakfast.
I do a long rest?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, let's make some breakfast.
It's a good thing none of you got a nat 1 on those saves. That would have been real fun.
And Esra, should we find any children that want to come with us when they leave? I want to take them with us. That are willing and kind. I think you can help me tell if they are.
Violet, the point of keeping watch is to wake up the others when there is danger, not leave us at the danger's mercy.
You are not at the danger's mercy. She takes as soon as
That is what
I will
Venestra
show you.
says, by the way.
I will show you Venestra.
As Vanestra retorts, that is not for you to decide for the others.
I am the guide. It is for me to decide. I've lived here before. My bark is loud enough for you to hear through the walls of this space if I wish. And I wouldn't leave you in silence. I promise. But you can trust me with whatever you wish. I'm not there to make judgments for what you feel. She looks over at Halcyon. You fell asleep.
Not on purpose.
So she singled me out on purpose.
Did she?
She knew my name. No one knows my name here.
Doubt anyone would live long enough to know.
Mr. Sunbeam. She knows my name.
That's concerning.
My family died due to disease. A mass spread disease.
What exactly did she say to you?
She said she likes games.
What exactly did she call you? Just Violet.
I have never spoken my name in any tongue in this space. My uncle made a deal with something many years ago. Hundreds of years ago.
I'll roll a religion check for Halcyon to see if he picks up on this.
What I missed?
Not with that roll.
Y'all are hearing her say this in hushed tones.
With how dead quiet the room is, it might as well be a stage whisper.
I have never said my name.
Avery's. Sorry, go ahead.
V and Demir are just gonna go over to the bones and offer a prayer for them before going about getting something to eat. V, make a con save for me. Same thing for Mira.
Oh, not you, Megan.
The one thing that was said was, and I'm gonna let Piper know, Violet just told him that the vampire singled her out. It knew her name. She's never said her name in the Abyss before out loud.
Mm-hmm.
In any tongue.
22 and 17. Okay. The moment you try to pray, you feel your throat start to dry out. You get through it. But Christ, on a stick, you need water.
And you hear Violet whisper to Halcyon, I have never said your name. I spoke in Sylvan spoken to her and she understood me. Old Sylvan, 200 to 400 years away. There's no one on this plane.
And even with your dark vision, it was too dark to fully make out all of her features.
My mother and my father died to a disease mysteriously spread throughout the town. My uncle made a deal with something dark and old.
We'll figure this out.
I was also prophesized to be his undoing, but I did nothing to him. I ran from him.
Maybe a twist of irony. You could have been there to save him, and was undoing by not doing so. Just a thought.
She wants us to seek her out for a game.
Anybody want to voice any thoughts? She is speaking this aloud.
No, Avery's just kind of doing their thing like they do. They are in like the side, couple yards away, just leaning against a wall and listening.
Yeah.
Silently.
Small note, while it doesn't affect the quality of your rations, here as you all eat your rations for your breakfast, there is a slight iron-like taste to it.
Violet loves that. That's a very good taste for Violet. Violet likes that taste. Good taste.
Confirm. That damn thing. Anyway. Piper's gonna make a mental note about there was a city where the whole entire place was destroyed by a disease. Ooh.
How does... And she looks over it, Piper. In the coldest place on this ring, how is it that a disease spreads like wildfire?
In Piper's head, deja vu. I've been to this place before. I have brother. Because Morvid, this is.
Let's speak his name.
Oh, shush. But you know what I mean. In the other timeline.
This is... She knew who I was.
Do you have like a ring of mind shielding when you went through here?
I've never been through this space. I've seen vampires. I've taken some down and eaten them. They taste pretty great.
You've
sometimes.
never been to this lair.
I've never been to the lair before.
Good fucking reason.
I usually can make it through the brute force situation, but not everyone here can. She wickedly points. There's a literally art dart over at Avery and back at everybody else.
Not so subtle.
What's funny is before you even, I knew that you were thinking of my character before you even made that.
I was gonna say Ramsey.
No, Ramsey, even though he almost died, is a little bit more.
Ramsey T-posing and halfway clipping into the floor. What?
Like, I purposely made Avery all brain, no brawn.
And
I'm taking every fucking advantage of that.
She is.
You don't say that shit out loud for the DM to hear.
Oh no, I already know.
Oh yeah, he already knew. He was part of his.
That
what, Megan? I cannot hear Megan.
She looks over at Avery, and when we get out of this space and we get back to Angel, you show her that amulet. She grew up in a place where those things lived.
This?
Yes.
Do you? Yes, I'll show it to her because she can tell me about it. All I know, I don't know anything about this.
Those things killed people. Devoured
Almost
cities.
Killed me.
Devoured cities, races, people, And they, like, you know what happens to you if you get one of the worms in your brain? You turn into one of them.
What worm? No.
See,
I found
really
this in
like
I found this in ruin. I found this in a ruined, like, looked like maybe a lab of some kind.
I wish I had the ability to show him what it was. Angel is not here to do the thing that she does.
Hold on. Do I have minor or major illusion, maybe?
That'd be great. You did
No, but I probably have a drawing of an illithid for shits and giggles.
Yeah, you probably do somewhere in your books. These are illithid, and they reproduce by having large quantities of those crawly little.
Blah.
And they put them in people's eyeballs, and they crawl up into their brains, and then they turn into more tentacly people.
That's terrifying. I need to roll a performance to see if I can successfully hide a fact.
That would be deception.
Deception? Okay. Deception. That's fine. It's just 6 less.
I want an insight. But Piper's always wanting to insight everybody because she's double guessing everybody.
Okay, that's not looking good, but okay. I rolled a total of
Wow, Violet.
17.
Rolled high on this roll before.
17 deception. Wait, Angel's in the vicinity, so everyone.
No,
Angel,
we're not
no,
an
Angel's not in the vicinity. This is fine.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she went
Also,
away.
the angel advantage thing is a dissonant
It
dynasty
only
thing.
happens for Dissonant Dynasty because
Oh,
actually
okay.
got.
Because she actually got to full godhood.
Mm-hmm.
And that
Alright,
is
cool.
a 20 for my insight.
Yeah, you can see that Avery's hiding something yet again.
For my insight, that is a 24.
Everyone can see that he's clearly uncomfortable at the sight of the illithid, but not for the reason you would think.
There is a rumor from some people, from Griffin specifically, that they trained him to do a lot of things and taught him a lot of things. But he would kill people, torture people until they died.
24 insight for Istra.
Piper's just gonna look at Avery with the eyes that said, "You better talk to me later."
It's. But if you have some story to tell, it'll be your story to tell when it's time, when you're ready. But I'm going to let you know if you
Yeah,
have
just
a
right,
worm
let's-
inside of your system,
I don't.
you do need to know, because it will explode and you'll become a body of worms, and that's not great either. There's options for that.
I haven't been in contact. I have been in contact with an illithid in the past, but not in years.
Alright.
Yeah, the worm would have taken him over well before now.
Not necessarily. Remember that one child was like in stasis for 200 or 300 years and didn't even get taken over.
In addition, might I add,
Cases doesn't count.
from my contact with that illithid, I can say they're not all bad.
Caveat, that one was a 1 in a billion exception.
Good point.
Maybe he was able to ignore the hive mind. Maybe it was a biological flaw.
We are the Borg. Your technological and biological advantages will be assimilated into our own.
Vanessa says some are born disconnected. That makes sense.
But I'm going to warn you. I am terrified. I have not heard anyone say my name in Old Sylvan in 400 years. So
Breathe. Breathe. We'll figure this out.
Violet, you swear for a half second you see traced in the blood. In common, the number is 438. Only to see just blood smeared on the ground. Guys are playing tricks on you. You're just stressed.
So
This is the
money.
thing that caused the issue. We're going to have an issue.
No one give Violet coffee.
Can I roll? What would I roll? Insight to assess the risk of just being completely upfront and honest with this group of people.
You're safe.
Piper's worried about
you.
anybody else at the moment.
This is a group of allies. So it's up to you.
Piper's worried about you. I'm telling you that outright.
I'm just gonna roll
You can
an
roll for
even or
yourself
odd
to see how you feel about the risk.
I'm just gonna. I roll a d4 when I want to flip a coin, so that's why. Okay, I'm gonna hold it a little bit longer.
Anything? Say it now. Because if that thing is what killed my family, we're going to have issues.
Fine. I'll lay it all out on. I'll lay it all flat.
How old do vampires live, Piper?
Forever until something causes their death.
If
Very
my
fucking
uncle-
long time.
And
Sleeping
where do
pipes.
they like to live?
Where do they live? Cold, dark places.
Cold.
Whether they choose to
Dark.
recluse themselves or whether they choose to impose influence in those dark places depends on the vampire. But yes.
If you live in the north, do you see the sun often?
In
No,
the
not
north,
often.
nights are often longer than the days.
So my question is, if my mother died due to that thing,
She did not. I'll tell you everything. I'll tell you everything now.
I think she's talking
Most
about
of you have given
vampire
no-
lady.
I'm
Oh.
talking about the vampire.
Oh, okay.
Well, if you want to kill her, if she's the one who killed your family, I support you.
She owes me a mother and a father, if that's the case. The only people to ever show me kindness in my childhood.
I will get to the end of this yarn ball.
And Violet's like, everybody pack up, we're leaving. Violet finishes her food, because I was going back and forth between them, so there's two different fine spaces. So while Angel is relieved, Violet's absolutely terrified.
Nice.
Piper's just gonna leave the bedding. Piper's just gonna leave the bedding from her demi-plane in Violet's demi-plane.
And it goes around. What y'all see when she exits is a small metal stone that goes straight around her neck, back onto the collar.
Oh my god.
And I'm going to let you know that the color of the stone is a dark, almost black green.
Moon ring. I know, I'm making a joke.
Is it dark forest green? I love that color. It's so pretty.
Oh, that reminds me.
You ready, Avery? You can stay inside of Halcyon's backpack if you'd like to. It's a little safer in there.
Plenty of room.
It's a little more durable, too.
If a 2-inch tall vampire climbs in there and starts to bite, I can't help you.
If they do that, he's gonna go off because it's got that sunlight in there.
True.
We have backup spells for that kind of a thing because vampires were an option.
It may not seem like it, but I can take care of myself sometimes.
I'm glad.
But I do appreciate the carriage.
Frankly, I'm also just trying to introduce humor in light of this God's forsaken place.
I mean, he could always hop into my bag of endless paper that has the paper dragon.
That sounds like a recipe for endless paper cuts.
No, you don't. Actually, I have gone down there many a time.
I'm going to need you to silence yourselves if we're going to be going through these hallways.
Doobie-dee-doo. So in Piper's head, because nobody can hear it, doodly-doo, sprinting down the hallway, doodly-doo, going through the door.
And she looks over at Piper and she goes, I think you should turn yourself into a bat. That's what she hears in her, like, thought process.
I can cast
I can't read minds
a
yet.
silent spell.
Yeah.
It's
Can
not the
anyone
same
cast
thing,
a
though.
silencing spell? Let me see. I do have a silent spell, but it doesn't move with you.
I can make people afraid.
If you cast it on an object that someone's holding and you put it above them, like a. What if you cast it on an umbrella?
Or you could
Or
cast it on
better
me.
yet, I have a silence crystal or two. Because how many times have I had to fucking replace those things whenever Angel stays over?
So, Violet is going to literally.
Are we going thematic and vampire bat?
Yeah.
Vampire. 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 Bat. No, bat. D&D5eHB. Okay. Don't show me this again. I wonder if we'll see any Strigoi. Don't. Oosh.
Plot twist, you're in the Tremere ring of the manor.
Amber.
What?
Amber.
What?
Okay.
What?
Oh, I have to message you.
The gangrel just get the yard.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope you remember this. Do you remember that? Do you remember that from
Yeah.
forever ago? Do you have it in your bag?
Yeah. Why would I leave that? It's actually technically in a jar because I'm not having that thing bleeding all over my bag.
You know you could be using that right now. I might
Why would we need to use it? How would we use it?
You put it in the bottle every single night, and then you leave a bottle every single room we go into.
How many flasks did Angel give me?
Like 342.
Sweet. Anyway, Joe, here is my vampire bat thing. I'm gonna leave my bag of holding with Violet because she knows.
No, you're gonna leave it with Halcyon in his backpack of safety.
We're not putting a bag of holding inside of his backpack.
It's not a bag of holding, so it's just a normal backpack with spells.
It's just a backpack with a bag of holding in it. So it's a backpack of holding.
Yeah.
And Piper will just let Violet know.
Understood.
About the thing. Now I'm gonna go be a bat. I'm gonna look like an actual bat. I'm actually gonna blend into the environment. I'm not gonna make myself look like a watery mess because I'm in Bloodborne.
as you all collect yourselves, ready to venture out into the halls of the Mansion of the Rake. Seek out whatever vampires may entreat you, and avoid those which may become a problem.
Stop.
Just as well as in the Feywild. A certain little gnome seeks out courts of the Dark Fae, trying her best to awaken every little one that she possibly can. Due to the lateness of the hour, I am afraid.
It's not that late, Joe. We
I
started
am
late.
afraid.
We started late by like an hour.
It's almost midnight, Megan.
Damn it.
We also did not start late.
We did start late.
We started late yesterday.
No, we started late today.
No, we
We're
did not.
7:30.
7:30 your time, yes. Because it's scheduled for 6:30 Mountain Standard. We started on time.
No, Joe, we didn't start on time. Stream started late. Joe, I know because it took you 20 minutes with OBS to start.
Yeah, 20 minutes.
Which means you still started late.
Anyway, Ruthie is live and so is Hero Zone.
Any suggestions or offers for a session title?
That bloody snake.